All right, my friends, we're starting out laying down. So just close your eyes and give yourself time to settle into the floor. Take deep breaths into your chest, spreading open your body in the front. Allow your exhales to be really deep as well. And we're just going to breathe for a few moments. So close your eyes and relax, and know that for now, your only task is just to explore a big, deep breath. Big, deep breath in that fills your whole rib cage, puffing outward in all directions. Big exhale that pulls all sides of your belly inward towards your spine. Keep breathing in and out. And feel your body relaxing here. Allow your jaw to hang open and your face get soft and mushy. And allow any tension, any thoughts of past or future just melt away from you. And allow you to just be in this moment, experiencing how it feels to just lay here and breathe. Take a moment as you breathe and just noticing your body softening. Watch your thoughts as well. And it's okay if you notice your thoughts running wild and seeming kind of chaotic. That's okay. You're just noticing your thoughts without getting caught up. All right, so keep your focus on that long, slow breath. We want to keep expanding and contracting the whole torso as much as we can before we even start to move around. Okay, let's bring in a little movement here. Go ahead and reach your hands behind you. Stretch out nice and long. You know, just like you just woke up and you're feeling great. You just want to take a big stretch. Breathing deeply into that extra space in your ribs. And maybe one more big breath in here as you reach out really far. With your exhale here, bring your knees in towards your chest. Reach your hands for your shins. See if you can pull your knees and forehead as close as you like. Little core strength. Let's do it again. Inhale, reach out really long. Exhale, pull those knees in. Hands to shins, head towards your knees. Again, just like that. Big breath in. And big exhale. Just waking up your core here. Now we're going to do one more. And I want to hold it. So reach out long. And then pull it in and hold it right here. Breathe deeply and hold. Now, if you need to take a break here, you can drop your head back to the floor and keep your knees tucked in. Okay, but if everything's going great, release your hands from your shins. Go ahead and reach past your toes and breathe. Okay, finding a little bit of challenge in your abs and your core. Draw your belly button down to the ground and take one more big breath in here. Let it go. Go ahead and roll yourself back down to the floor. Drop your feet by your hips and drop your hands by your hips too. Okay, so a little bit of activation in your core and abs is very helpful for allowing your low back to release and stay happy. So we always want some happy low back time. Okay, getting into more of your back body, we'll take some bridge postures here, planting your feet and your hands on the floor. With your inhale, think of lifting your hips up to the side. And with your exhale, you want to roll your spine back down. And we'll do that a few more times. Inhale, push the floor away, lift your hips. And exhale, roll them down. Think of your spine being very snaky and peeling it up off the floor very slowly and setting it down with control. So while you do this, two things very important. Want to keep your knees close together, like you're trying to hold a tennis ball between them. And you want that nose to point straight up at the sky. Keep breathing. And next time you come up, let's hold up there for a moment and just breathe. Okay. If you need to come down, you can, of course, drop your hips. But if all is going well, you can bend your elbows and start to press them into the floor a little bit, lifting your shoulder blades underneath your heart a bit. Breathe into any extra space in your chest and draw those knees toward each other. Okay, we'll take a few more breaths here, warming up your back body and opening up your front body in your bridge pose. Okay, possibility that you want to interlace your fingers underneath your back and lift that heart up nice and tall toward the sky. Wherever you are, one more really big breath. Push that floor away from you. Lift your heart. And then release your hands. If you join them, we're going to roll down in slow motion. Think of snaking your spine down very slowly. Snake it down. And when your tailbone finally lands, walk your feet out away from each other a bit. And start to windshield wiper your knees, side to side. All right, just kind of opening up your hips a little bit here and giving your low back a nice twist. So you might get some pops, and that is okay, as long as it feels okay. Okay, next time your knees point up at center, pause right there and just knock them together. Make like a little tent out of your legs. And you can point your toes inward slightly. Take a moment here and start to feel like your low back can really neutralize toward the ground. Okay. And take your arms out into a cactus shape by your sides. So we're going to start to open up your chest and strengthen your shoulders and upper back a little bit here. Keeping your arms very close to the floor and your palms flipped up. Think of reaching your hands away from you. Dragging your hands on the floor. And then pull those elbows down by your side, coming through a little tiny cactus shape. Okay. Let's take a few more like that. Inhale, reach out long. Exhale, pull it down to a tiny cactus shape. Okay, take a few more like that. Really firing up your shoulders. Keep your heart big and tall. Maybe one more time, just like that. And then draw your hands all the way down behind your knees. We'll take a few rocks and rolls here. Tucked hands behind knees. Very playfully and slowly rock yourself up. Maybe balance with your tippy toes. And roll it back. Again, rock it up. And roll it back. So maybe take your knees a little bit wide here. We'll just do it a few more times. Maybe next time you come up, you could balance there, okay, with just your tippy toes on the floor. And let's hold and breathe right here, lengthening out through your spine. Big breath. So here you are in your boat pose, okay, Navasana. Very, lots of options, very many options for what you can do in Navasana. You can keep your hands on your knees, or you can let go, okay? And you could keep your toes on the ground, or you can hover them. So feel free to use your options here. Wherever you are, make your spine nice and long, and we'll start to twist. So if you can let go of your legs, put your fingers together in front of you. And then just twist to look over your left shoulder. Twist your whole shoulder girdle out to look over that left shoulder. Okay, coming back in through center, keep breathing. And now look over the right shoulder. Let's link this movement with breath. Inhale through center. Exhale, look over your left shoulder. Inhale through center. And exhale, look over the right. Keep breathing. If you need to put your feet down, you're going to do that. And if you need to grab behind your knees, you will. But you'll keep that twisting movement. Keep the breath. If you want more, you can even extend your legs. Let's do one more on each side. Very nice. Bring it back into center. Go ahead and drop those feet. Whew. You can lean it forward and experience all that good work that we did in your core and your side body in that boat pose. Okay, transitioning to hands and knees. You can just drop your knees to one side and flip over to hands and knees. Okay, take your time here, getting a really nice grip on the floor underneath your shoulders. You can spread your fingers nice and wide. And then go ahead and draw your elbows inward slightly so that your upper body is engaged in this posture. Okay, and then with that strong upper body, take a big breath in, pull back on your hands, pull back like you want to rip the mat underneath you, and then let your heart move forward so you're arching or extending your spine. All right, with your exhales, push the floor away. Go ahead and drop your head, and you feel that you're rounding or flexing your spine. And let's do that a few more times. Inhale, pull your heart forward to a cow pose. Okay, think of a cow's big hips sticking up in the air behind it. And with your exhale, push the floor away, cat pose. So feel free to make this side to side a little bit. It doesn't need to be all front and back movement, but get rolly into the sides. I like to think of the spine being a jump rope here, just jump roping it different directions. Just finding extra space in your ribs and your back. Go ahead and bring it back to a flat back from here. Okay, let's pick up this right knee and circle it out, just making some nice big circles with it. And go ahead and rewind those circles, guys. Okay, next time that right knee points forward, pause it and see if you could step the right foot forward to be next to your right hand. Okay, you might come up on your fingertips here and we'll settle into this nice little low lunge. So we'll start off by getting comfortable in your base here. You have blocks maybe that you want to put under your hands, awesome. Maybe you want to scooch the left knee back, or maybe you want to put a blanket under it. But take that time to get comfortable in your lunge. And then once you feel settled in, okay, I want you to activate your legs at least a little bit. So you are, of course, adjusting for the vibe of your practice today. But even if you're going for a very gentle practice, please gently push the floor away with both legs. And breathe right there. So that's where we want to be in the lunge. Okay, in this lunge, once you get some nice activation and strength going in your legs, okay, ground into that left hand, go ahead and reach up with your right. So we're adding a twist to this lunge, and your chest is big and broad here. Okay, adding some movement. With your exhale, twist back the way you came. Send that right hand reaching underneath the left. And we'll do that again. Inhale, reach up tall, make a big, big chest. Exhale, right hand reaches under left. Let's do that one more time. Okay, big breath in. Reaching, opening your chest. And big exhale, right hand reaches under left. Now hold and breathe. Stretching open the back side of your rib cage. Think of moving your shoulder blades away from each other and reaching. Okay, one more big breath into that back. And then inhale to spin it all the way back up and open, reaching up to the sky. Hold it right here. Big chest. Okay, strong arms. If you feel great here and you want a little extra spice, you tuck your left toes and lift your left knee. But I still want you to think of dropping into both legs. Push the floor. Maybe one more breath here, whatever version or variation of the lunge you're in. And then come down slowly the way you came in. Drop the back knee if it was up. Drop the right hand under your right shoulder. And from here, just bring it back to hands and knees. You can step the right foot back. Okay, tuck your toes, lift those knees, and lift your hips. You can walk your hands all the way back to your feet. And take a moment just to hang here and swing. You can bend your knees and kind of sway side to side. Maybe even grab your elbows and just hang. From here, we're going to roll up. So release your elbows if you grab them. Drop into your heels. Okay, big breath in as you roll yourself up so slowly. Think of stacking all your bones up for the first time. Okay, lift your heart when you get up there. Lift your hands. Maybe look up for a teeny tiny back bend. Then exhale here. You can bend your knees. You want to hinge at your hips and allow yourself to fold all the way down. And we'll do that again, just like that. Ground into your heels. Inhale, push down, roll yourself up. Reach up super tall. Lift your heart. Maybe a teeny back bend if it feels right. And exhale again, hinging at your hips. Bend your knees, roll it down. Let's do that one more time, just giving your spine and your front and back body a little extra movement. Inhale, roll it up. Lift that big heart. And exhale, roll it down. All right, yogis, palms are down. With your inhale, walk your hands forward. Bring it back to hands and knees. And let's do the other side. Okay, so from your hands and knees, let's get the left knee up and circle it out a few times. Okay, just getting some movement in that left hip. Let's rewind that a few times. Okay, next time the left knee points forward, pause it there and see if you could step it outside your left hand. And here's where we want to take a moment to get comfortable. Come up on your fingertips, maybe put some blocks under you if you have blocks at home, okay? And then maybe we want to walk the right knee back, maybe pad the right knee. So please take that time because we'll be here for a bit. Okay, once you feel comfortable in your lunge, you've settled in, you'll start to activate just enough. Both legs press down into the floor. Okay, that activation is so important to really accessing a lunge. Once you've got some strength in each leg, pushing the floor, ground into that right hand and reach up with your left. Big twist. Open your chest up. And exhale, reach that left arm underneath your right. Stretching out your back, reach very far. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, reach it under. Again, inhale, reach. Now this one we want to hold, okay? Reach under and hold right here and breathe. Reach as far as you can. I want to think of stretching open the space between your shoulders, behind your heart. One more breath into the back side of your heart. And then we're reaching it up on the inhale. Reach up with that left hand, spread your chest open and breathe here. Now make sure your bottom elbow is soft and your shoulders are active. And if you want a little extra spice, you tuck those right toes and lift the right knee. Keep breathing wherever you are. Make sure that your legs are still gently resisting the floor. One more big breath here, yogis. And then let it go the way you came in. Drop the right knee, drop the left hand, bring it back to hands and knees. Okay, let's shake it off. Tuck your toes, lift your knees and hips. And again, walk your hands all the way back to your feet. And just hang for a moment. Ooh, shake out your head. Maybe join your hands behind you here. Move them away from your heart. Okay, notice you can really let your lower back hang in traction here, which is great for those of us who spend time sitting. Okay, getting that low back out of whack. From here, we're going to roll up again. So release your hands if you joined them. Inhale and roll yourself up high. From here, let's get into a little bit more side stretching. So strong belly muscles move in towards your spine as you reach up. Okay, with your exhale, slide your right hand down your right thigh. Reach that left hand overhead. Get a big side stretch. Keep the belly in. And then inhale all the hands up, lift that heart. And exhale, slide left hand down left leg, right hand reaches overhead. Now I want to do that 2 more times on each side, okay? Inhale, heart up, reach. Exhale, lean to the right. Inhale up. Exhale, lean to the left. Now keep those bellies strong. Keep the low back supported. 1 more time on each side. Reach. And open the side body, low back, rib cage. Last time, reach. And open the other side. Nice. Inhale here, reaching up. Last time to open that heart upward. And exhale, hinging at your hips. Fold yourself in half, coming all the way down with your hands and your head. From here, ground those palms and walk them forward to hands and knees. Okay, back here on hands and knees, tuck your toes and just hover your knees right off the mat. And let's breathe right here. It's a little challenging, so if you need to drop 1 or 2 knees, you can. Okay, breathe. So keep your belly muscles wrapping up and in towards your spine so that your low back doesn't curve too much here. Okay, strong pushing against the floor. 1 more big breath in here with floating knees. And with your exhale, Press your hips up and back. Drop those heels. Okay, downward facing dog. Let's take a moment here in your downward facing dog just to be. So we're a bit warm in the shoulders and in your legs. So you can safely push the floor away from you here and lengthen yourself in all directions. If you need to bend your knees more here, you can. And I would bend your knees in favor of lengthening your upper body rather than having long legs in a rounded upper body. Go for that long upper body. Let's move from here. With your inhale here, just lift your right leg up into the air, okay? Try to keep your hips level with each other. Exhale and bend that right knee. Step your right foot forward. See if you could drop right foot outside your right hand. So here's where you could drop the back knee if you wanted to be a little bit more gentle here. If you're feeling pretty good, keep that back knee up and use your right knee to press up to a crescent lunge. All hands up in the air here. Big breath into your chest. So remember, you can drop the back knee and get up at any time. But if everything's going pretty good here, I want to start to twist. So look over that right shoulder here. Twist, opening your arms to the right. Look back behind you. And then take a big breath in. Bring it back up to your crescent lunge, facing forward. Let's do that again. Exhale as you twist and look to the right. Look behind you. And inhale back to the crescent lunge. One more time, exhale and twist. And now hold it right here in this twist. Reach your arms wide. Drop the back knee if you need to. Stretch open your chest. Ooh, nice twist here, warming your legs, warming your spine. One more big breath here. And then let it go. Drop your hands under your shoulders. Boom, boom. Let's see if we could come up through a 3-leg dog, okay? So with your inhale, send that right leg up in the sky behind you. Try to keep those hips nice and level. And with your exhale, drop that right foot back in a downward facing dog. Okay, now take a moment here. You can take a break on your hands and knees, or you can just take some breaths here, noticing how your legs feel. All right, keeping in mind you can always take a break from that down dog. Let's transition to the other side. Play around a little bit more. So grounding into your right foot here. With your inhale, swing your left leg up in the air. 3-leg dog with your hips level. Exhale here, send that left foot forward and drop it outside your left hand. Okay, so if you need to drop the back knee here, you could do that. And you could just keep that right knee down. But if all is well, strong legs push the floor, you can keep the back knee up and use that left knee to press up to a crescent lunge. All hands up here. Okay, strong in your lunge. Remember, you can drop back knee anytime. So inhale here with your lunge, big heart open. Right, exhaling to twist to the left this time. Looking over that left shoulder. Twist your spine to look behind you. And we're coming back through center on the inhale. Crescent lunge, heart lifts. And then exhale, twist it. Again, looking over that left shoulder. One more like that. Big breath in. Okay, getting nice and warm. Big exhale. Hold it right there and just breathe. So to make this more gentle, drop the back knee. Keep the twist if you can. Breathe deeply. Okay, opening up extra space in your rib cage and back. One more breath here. Twisted lunge. And then let it go. All hands down under your shoulders. We're back in that lunge, okay? Coming up to a 3-leg dog on this side. With your inhale, swing that left leg up in the sky behind you. 3-leg dog. And exhale here. Drop that left foot back to downward facing dog. Okay, walk it out here. Notice how the backs of both legs feel. And then come up on your tippy toes here and go ahead and tiptoe towards your hands. Just get as close as you want to get. Okay, when you've tiptoed close enough, drop your heels, bend your knees, and go ahead and give your legs a hug. Shake it out. Okay, creating some nice length in your spine today with all these twists and folds. Really great. We tend to get a little compressed during a normal week. Okay, from here, I want to roll up again. So press into your heels, stack yourself up, rolling up nice and tall. Okay, reach up here. And then I want to stay standing for a little while. So this time with your exhale, just bring your hands down by your heart, okay? And spend a little time standing. And I'm just going to turn to face you, but we are in the same place, okay? So find a very strong sense of rootedness in your stance. Push down into your heels, tuck your tailbone a little bit, and strong belly muscles in towards your spine. Okay, you want the lifted heart and shoulders down the back so that you feel your spine is very neutral. Okay, and see if you could ground a little bit more into your left heel and just lift your right heel up like you're doing right tippy toes. From here, just take your right thigh and hinge it to point out and open to the right. So the knee points to the right. And hold and breathe here, beginning to adventure into a tree pose. Okay, so tree pose gives you a lot of options as a yogi. You can keep it very gentle, or if you want something more dramatic, you can go for that as well. You could keep your toes on the ground if you like. Or if all is going well, you can travel that right foot up to your ankle or shin or calf. You can even take it all the way up to your thigh, but you do want to skip your knee, okay? Try to avoid pressing on your knee. And of course, you can do what you like with your arms, taking them out to the side or up. Okay, you might try some fun little shapes. So wherever you are in tree pose, we'll take a few more breaths. If it's too easy, challenge yourself to close your eyes. Whew. If it's too hard, bring maybe one of your toes down to the ground and start over. Notice one of my favorite things about tree pose. It's very hard to think about your problems when you're trying to figure out how to balance in a tree pose. As you're ready here, see if you could come out with control, okay, without exploding. So skillfully travel your right foot down, back to the floor. Whew. Grounding into both feet again. Let's take a moment to shake it off. Inhale here, reach all your hands up, lift that heart. And exhale here, hinging at your hips, fold it all the way down. Shake it out here, grab your legs, and give them a hug. Bending into one knee at a time. And then as you're ready, let's do the other side. So inhaling here, roll yourself up, reach up tall. And exhale, hands down to your heart. And find a really intentional stance. Dropping down into your heels, tucking your tailbone, even tucking your chin a little bit to lengthen your neck. Ground into that right foot. Lift up the left heel. And hinge that left hip to externally rotate. The knee points to the left. Hold and breathe. This could be enough. You could play with balance by sliding the left foot up, skipping the knee perhaps, to step on the right inner thigh. Or not. No matter where you are, breathe and enjoy yourself. Okay, every tree is different. And every tree is different on the day. So do experiment and make up a nice shape here. Maybe one more breath here in your tree pose, cultivating stability, focus. And then do your best to slide out skillfully the way you came in. Sliding that left foot down to the floor. Grounding into both feet again. Inhale here, reach it up. And exhale, hinge, fold it all the way down. Okay, I'm gonna turn to face the front of the space again. So we're back where we were before that tree adventure. And let's keep going. With your inhale here, step those feet back behind you. Exhale here, drop those knees. We're back to hands and knees. So I'd like to get a little more into some hip and low back with you. So let's take that right knee forward. Go ahead and set it by your right hand. Okay. And you can move your left foot to be more, your right foot to be more underneath you or more in front of you. You can kind of pivot on the knee to do that. And once you find a comfortable place to be, walk the left knee back a little bit. Use your hands to support you and settle into a pigeon pose. Okay. So I do want to remind you that in pigeon pose, your hips don't have to come all the way down. They might be a little bit up off the floor. And you can even put a blanket underneath your hips if that's more comfortable. But do make sure your hips are level. Okay. Check them out. Get a visual. Once they're both level and you feel comfortable, start to activate gently against the floor. So each leg presses just a little bit down against the earth to where you feel like you're in the posture. Okay, so activate downward and then start to walk your hands out. Drop that forehead if you can. Maybe you just do elbows under shoulders and you hang your head. Okay, wherever you are, keep those legs a little bit active, just enough. Notice how your right outer hip feels. Okay, see if you could keep the left glutes nice and active. See if you could soften your heart open toward the floor. Maybe taking one more nice breath here in your pigeon posture. From here, take your time coming out, okay? You don't have to explode. Take your time. Walk your hands back up and in by your hips. Okay. Tuck the left toes behind you and lift yourself up and back to hands and knees. Okay, take a moment here, tuck your toes, lift your knees, and walk your hands back to your feet. Take some time just to hang. Let the head hang, let yourself sway. Okay, coming up here, inhale, push into your heels, roll yourself up high. Reach that heart up. And exhale, hinge it all the way down, bend those knees. Okay, palms come back to the floor here, walking it forward to hands and knees. And we'll do the other side. We'll do a pigeon on the left side. So let's bring the left knee forward near the left hand. And take a moment to pivot on the left knee. You can move the left foot away from the back of your mat, or you can move the left foot so it's more underneath you. It's really up to you. And then walk that right knee back. Put something underneath you to sit on if you want to. But get those hips nice and level. Just level them off, and then start to use your hands to walk out your elbows first. Okay, keeping those legs active is super important. So actively press the earth down with both legs, at least a little bit. Okay, maybe walk your hands out and drop your forehead. Keep the legs on the clock, even if it's just a little bit. See if you could activate that right glute here, allowing the right hip to soften downward. Notice the left outer hip getting some good circulation. Right, take your time coming up and out of pigeon pose. You have time. No rush. Walk your hands back up. Tuck the right toes this time and bring it up and back to hands and knees again. Okay, one last time. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, walk your hands back to your feet. But this time, I want to do something different. Walk your feet a little wider than your hips are. And turn your toes out slightly. Feel free to adjust as we move into this posture. Adjust your feet. Go ahead and start to drop your hips slowly. Take your time. Okay, I just want you to know there's no rush. You could rest with your hips up for quite a while. Give your hips that time. But eventually, see if you could drop them nice and low. And I'll turn slightly to show you. The hips are nice and low. And you want to be active in your legs so that you can still have a long spine and gently push the floor with those legs. So take some time here in this malasana squat, really releasing your low back and toning and balancing your legs. Okay, if you feel like experimenting here, you could take your elbows between your knees and play with pressing your knees away from each other, but then also try to pull the knees inward towards your elbows at the same time. Make a long spine. Keep breathing. Okay, if you like here, you can also play around with walking your fingers out away from your hips. You can round your spine, but keep your neck long, okay? Okay, really dropping down into that low back. Maybe walk your hands over to one side. Okay, if you walk your hands to the left, you can get into the right side of the low back a little bit more, and vice versa. And try walking your hands over to the other side. Stretching out your back. All right, walk those hands back into center here. And then from here, kind of silly, just see if you can drop back on your hips. All right, it's okay if you rock back a little bit. Go ahead and kick out your legs, shake them out. If you want to lean back on your hands, you can take some nice windshield wiper movements here. All right, and next time your knees point up, just pause them right there, okay? Just enough so that your feet can be on the floor. Take your hands underneath your shoulders, fingers pointing back at you, and then drop to your elbows. Take your time, get nice and comfy. So use your elbows to press down here and lift your heart up toward the sky. Elbows are really scooping that heart upward. And then give a nice tuck in towards your chin. Just take some time breathing into that extra chest space. Okay, as you lift that rib cage up toward the sky, feel some nice space opening up in front of your shoulders. Maybe 1 or 2 more big breaths in this fish pose, opening up your front body, especially in your chest. Right as you're ready to let go of your fish pose, come out skillfully, of course, tucking your chin back in towards your chest, and move your knees out, move your elbows out away from each other. Come down to your back here. Okay, take some cactus arms here. Once you land, scoot those shoulder blades under you, cactus arms, and then move your hips a little bit over to the left. Just pick them up, put them on the left side of your space, and then you can drop both knees to point to the right. Okay, and we'll take a little twist from here. So look directly over to the left, away from your knees. Close your eyes here and just lose track of how many breaths you take. Think of lifting your heart away from the floor as you breathe deeply. Expansive chest on the inhale, and strong belly exhale. Big inhale. Big exhale. Maybe one more breath here. Lift that chest high. Allow the knees to roll through center. And then just pause to pick up your hips and put them to the right of your space. Then you can drop the knees more seamlessly to the left. And of course, look away from your knees to the right. Hold and breathe right here. Close your eyes. Okay, remember to lift that chest up toward the sky as you breathe here. Maybe one more big breath here. Big rib cage spreading open. And then roll those knees back in through center. Okay, go ahead and get your legs up in the air here. And just circle out your ankles. Nice circles in one direction. And then make sure we do them in the other direction as well. And then how about some figure eights? Draw some figure eights with your toes. And reverse your figure eights. And then see if you could very, very, very slowly, as slowly as possible, release your legs toward the floor. You can bend your knees if you need to, but think about drawing your belly button down toward the ground and slowly floating your legs all the way down. And once your legs land, it is time to rest. So allow the legs to just lengthen out, very soft. You can feel your feet kind of flop away from each other. Maybe drift your hands down by your hips and give a nice tuck of your shoulder blades under your heart so you feel extra big there. Close down your eyes. Let your body be soft and effortless. Allow your breath to be so easy, so no longer controlling the pace or the depth of your breath. Now just allow it to be very natural, like deep sleeping breath. Your body already knows what to do. Feel your breath moving in and out. Notice every sensation about this moment. Pay attention to what's happening right now. Allowing yourself to be present in this moment and just experience being. You are empowered to tap into a sense of harmony, not just on your mat, but anytime. Tuning into breath, body, and even watching your thoughts anchors you right here, right now. With each breath, let your body relax a little more. Let the softness maybe start in your fingers and toes and drift upward in towards your body with each breath. Soft jaw as you breathe, and notice this moment. Everything soft as you breathe and notice this wonderful moment. The longer you can spend here just resting and being still, noticing your breath, the better. So if you could take a nap, that would even be the best. But please take as long as you can just to rest right here like this. This is where I'll leave you for our practice today, friends. Thanks so much for joining me today.